Hi, this is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital. I want to do a quick intraday framing on Monsanto for the washout continuation pattern on November 13th, 2009. All right, so what we have here is a little template built, and I've already pre-drawn all the lines. So here was this was the washout pattern. Started at the dashed blue line here. So the setup day is this green candle. The execution day was here, and we had a stop at about 66.5 or so. Stumbled into a really nice trade. Ended up selling off in here. So we have the preconditions for the washout trade, washout continuation trade, and that is a successful washout trade that looked like that. Okay, so let me pull it off just so you can see. So the continuation pattern looks for a pullback after the successful washout and then a resumption of the trade like a lazy W. So let me pull this yellow chart off here. So now this is what we see here. On the solid blue line is when we're interested now in the washout continuation, because we had a successful washout, a pullback, and we can see it holding support here, and now it opened and is getting ready to test. So we have a washout continuation frame that would look something like this. First of all, my stop is probably going to be about here on the low of that day. I could also justify having it below the swing low. You'll find that difference right there will make a difference in your position sizing and your risk-reward calculations, but under certain conditions intraday, I'm willing to take either one of those, or to tolerate either one of those as an initial stop. Now, the mechanical application of this would have me buying a nickel above that red candle's high, which is at about 74.70. So a nickel above that is about 74.77. There's an opportunity sometimes to buy on the on today's intraday if we have momentum and the market moving in our favor. I can actually buy lower than that on an intraday basis and get some nice risk reward. So what I'm looking at for initial potential profit targets would be the swing high, which looks to be about 76. So if I go 74.75 as the entry, and I'm going to 76, that's $1.25. That means I can have about a 60-cent stop for $1.20 risk reward to get my 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. So about a 60-cent stop is certainly manageable in a large cap like Monsanto. There are some other places where I could also legitimately use profit targets, and these basically are at the previous swing highs. Rather than the absolute high of that candle, I would just as soon probably be right around in here, like where that doji is. Looks like it's kind of the middle of that price clump, so it doesn't surprise me if it gets back into that congestion, or testing this low, this previous swing low. Any one of these purple lines that's north of the first one makes it easier and easier to see how you can get 2-to-1, and it gives you a little more flexibility on where your initial stop is going to be. So you could either be very tight intraday if you can do momentum in the ready, fire, aim technique, or if you execute manually at the green line with either one of these two as initial stops, that starts making it difficult to see 2-to-1 on a simple retest. But if you're using, that looks to be about 79, it's pretty easy to see how you can get 2-to-1 already. So to recap then, the washout continuation requires a successful washout pattern from the yellow box, a pullback above, so we've got this little lazy W working, and we're looking for a resumption of the trend to go test previous support and resistance levels that we've shown in purple. The mechanical entries at the green line. Intraday, you may be able to do that with a 10 or a 20-cent stop on a large cap, and thus give yourself some exceptional reward to risk ratios. And then either a nickel below today's low or the swing low of this pullback. Either one of those is acceptable for framing purposes as an initial stop. In every case, you get to manage your risk and basically frame this trade based on your ability to manage the trade. So that's washout continuation pattern on 2009, November 13th, in symbol MON Monsanto. Thanks for your attention.